How safe are you feeling today? Recently working through some issues, and I'd like to talk more about this in the future with more specifics. But how many of you out there are dealing with chronic pain? There's a lot of physical conditions where pain is just an ongoing, every moment part of every day. I'll be thankful. I will tell you some of my pain, and it's spine related, has been related to motion. I've been fortunate because in years past, and I'm sure many of you can understand this, there is the issue of always on pain. Even when you are static and laying still, the pain radiates through your body. So, those of us who have experienced chronic pain, maybe over weeks, months, or years, learn how to adapt. But I've also said along the way, and I've shared this with others, chronic pain changes our personality. No matter how hopeful we want to be, or how much we stay on what seems the eternal quest to get better, we are dealing with and managing pain. That's difficult. And as we do that, it takes something out of our psyche. And the one thing that comes from that, one of many things actually, is that we can become fearful. Fearful of a turn for the worst, fearful that the pain will migrate into other areas of our body, fearful that the pain that we currently have, we will no longer be able to sustain our daily activities. I'm sure there's millions of others out there on YouTube who has gone through this journey. And as a part of that, and again, I'll do more videos on this in the future, we've all been through our own personal journeys with the medical healthcare system, with peripheral services. That can be chiropractic, it can be physical rehabilitation, it can be acupuncture. There are many opportunities to try to chase getting better. But in it, we live with this fear. And the opposite of fear, or what some people hope to achieve, is what is called being safe. And my question today is, how safe are you feeling? Now, there's other areas of study, and I can do a whole nother video on this where we talk about the pain that we're manifesting is actually originating from our own psyche and our mind. This is a whole area of study. It's actually become a whole industry where we might believe that our body is sending the pain signals in its own way, trying to protect us or keep us from other perceptions or deeper fears that it doesn't want us to experience. Now, I realize this can get rather psychological, probably psychiatric, in how we believe our minds can manipulate our bodies. But the point of this whole study is the more we can use the mantra of telling ourselves we feel safe, the more we can mitigate the perception of pain. I've been through that process for over a year, and I will report to you, I did not have sufficient results. I don't think that I was able to mitigate pain, but I do believe this. As we rest in ourselves more and become more comfortable in the experience we're in, we can change the perception of pain. Right? We would know this. Everybody goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, how bad does it hurt? 1 to 10. Now, I'm a former ultra runner. I've experienced a lot of pain. Frankly, I've done things to myself I probably would not do again today. The suffering needed to finish major 100-mile running events. But in that, I learned and I trained myself to manage a lot of pain. So when I go to the doctor and he asks me 1 to 10, what I'm experiencing, I might say a 4. Another person might come in and be screaming, I'm a 10 plus, help me, give me something for the pain. We might both actually be experiencing the same pain, but we perceive that in a much different way. So part of the philosophy on this is feeling safe. And the more that we can rest and tell ourselves, tell our internal psyche that we are safe, that we will perceive less pain. And I was thinking more today, what is it we do to try to feel safe? I've always had an ongoing battle with food. I know that the satiated feeling of eating, the process of eating something I really enjoy, is one of my ways of trying to numb that pain. There's a fulfillment in that, certain types of foods that, of course, many times rack up high calorie consumption. But how many of you have used food to try to feel safe? Because it seems to me when I get that satiated feeling, I feel more that all is well in my world. Okay. There are other ways of feeling safe, and that's becoming fearful of activities, becoming fearful of doing things we used to do, becoming fearful of that one misstep where we tumble onto the ground. I'm not safe. I might fall. Okay. Or is safe possibly alienating and isolating from others? Because we know that our personality has been modified through pain management, and maybe at times we don't want the interrelational experiences we used to have because we manage pain. And as many of you know, sometimes there's a sullenness that comes with that, an inner feeling where there's a sadness. And we don't want to go out and maybe we don't want to manifest that out to others. We want to keep that private to ourselves. But again, we may not feel safe going out into the public and interpersonal situations we used to put ourselves in. So, what is it we can all do to achieve a better place of feeling safe? And in the end, thinking this all through, does the mantra and the rest that should come of resting our minds and convincing ourselves that we are safe lead to the reduction again and the mitigation of some of that chronic pain we feel day in and day out? Just thoughts to consider, things we can all work on together as we manage our lives and move forward and do the best we can through each of the stages and challenges with which we must adhere.